Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As we welcome you once again this evening to the airwaves of Salam Media, our listeners, our viewers on the various platforms of Salam Media, we continue with Wednesday nights with myself, Inayat Wadi. Now, tonight we are paying tribute to a personality who has done just so much for the cause of the people of Palestine. And we're talking about the passing away of Dr. Jean Galder, the late Australian doctor. Now, she was totally devoted to her time to the people of Palestine and also looking at all her work that she's done, the medical work, the humanitarian effort. She was loyal to the Palestinian cause in more ways than one. And she remained in Gaza for lengthy periods of time, and at the same time, looking at organizations like the Palestinian Red Crescent Society in its early days. She was crucial to this organization as well. And we're going across now to be joined by the head of foreign media from Hamas. We're talking with Mutee Abu Musabeh. Mutee, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the show this evening.
Assalamualaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for being concerned and shedding more light on the Palestinian issue and the Palestinian cause. It's my pleasure to join your program.
Yes, I think we just lost you there slightly. I'm not too sure whether it is a problem with the signal strength, but we will continue with the show, Mutee. And just looking at Dr. Jean Galder, now clearly Palestinians are saddened by the loss of this doctor who gave so much towards the Palestinian cause. And just looking at yourself and looking at even Hamas, I'm sure that many people are saddened at the news that she had passed away.
Yes, at the beginning, I would like to seize this opportunity to salute our brothers and sisters in South Africa and to express my deep appreciation to your efforts on the way of supporting the Palestinian people and showing more and more support and assistance to the Palestinian people keep by by keeping showing the issues of the Palestinian people. And actually, as you have mentioned, and as you know, that the Palestinian people across all Palestinian territories actually yesterday sadly mourned one of the most prominent figures and one of the most prominent icons of humanity who choose and prefer to stay in Gaza Strip in order to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people and especially the disabled Palestinian children. Actually, Dr. Jean Galder actually spent more than 25 years of her life supporting the Palestinian children, and she abandoned her life, her comfortable life in Australia, and choose to stay here in Gaza in order to support the Palestinian children. And actually, I think it may be somehow could be a coincidence that her passing away came in the context of the anniversary of the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, which marks the 29th of November. But I think it could have some kind of important messages and meanings to many parties. First of all, I think this should remind the whole world, the international community, that the Palestinian issue is not the issue of the Palestinian people only. It's the issue of all free people worldwide who still believe in the human rights and the human values, who still deny and reject any kind of oppression and aggression practiced against the occupied people. And I think Dr. Jean Galder actually embodied the real meaning of humanity and solidarity and support of human rights. She translated those meaning and that kind of speech into real acts on the ground. So we lost one of the real supporters and the prominent icon of humanity who actually supported the Palestinian people and the Palestinian disabled children amid the ongoing persecution practiced by the Israeli occupation, left a center against the Palestinian people, against the Palestinian fragile sectors. She chose to stand on the side of the Palestinian people in front of the ongoing Israeli siege that touched all aspects of a human of human of the living of the Palestinian people here in the Gaza Strip.
Yes, and also she meant so much to Hamas as an organization, and also the people of Palestine, and that is why we see this tribute pouring in, and also this whole outpouring of grief at her loss, and just going back and looking at. For instance, an organization like the Palestine Red Crescent Society and the immense contribution towards this organization, just how instrumental was she with regard to the Red Crescent Society in Palestine?
Yes, before talking about the Red Crescent Society here in Palestine, I need to assert on a very important topic and point, which is that the Palestinian people would never forget about anyone or whoever stood on the side of the Palestinian people. Those who choose to stand on the side of the Palestinian people and support the Palestinian people and choose to alleviate and mitigate the pain of the Palestinian people will remain in the memory of the Palestinian people. And actually, Dr. Jean Galder joined the long record of those who supported the Palestinian people and raised the voice of the Palestinian people, just like Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, and Rachel Corrie, the American supporter, who which was killed by the Israeli forces in Rafah city. So this is very important thing that all people worldwide should remember, that the Palestinian people would never forget those who supported the Palestinian people and stood on the side of the Palestinian people. Actually, as you know, when it comes to those international organizations, it's a crucial part of their responsibility to support the Palestinian people, because the Palestinian people today stand alone on confrontation with in the confrontation with the Israeli occupation forces that actually to rise the Palestinian people and leave no stone unturned without practicing the violations of the basic human rights of the Palestinian people. So I think that Dr. Jean Galder actually was loyal to its real message of humanity and the support of the Palestinian or the oppressed people here in Gaza Strip.
Yes, and also, she had this special place in her heart for Gaza, and she loved Gaza. And I recall reading, an article where she was looking across at the sea and looking at the beauty of the sea, and she spoke about it being a release for the population of Gaza, which is obviously under siege. But she says it is so beautiful, and I just wouldn't want to live anywhere else. That is how special Gaza actually meant for her and the people of Palestine, and particularly the children of Palestine, where earlier on you spoke about the rehabilitation of the children of Gaza.
Yes, I would like to say something that could be odd for many people, that whoever comes to Gaza and live among the Palestinian people here in Gaza would be astonished how the people here dare to live, and they have vibrant actually vibrant attitude and desire to live their life. The Palestinian people here insist on living their life and defy the Israeli persecution and all the Israeli attempts that came to push the Palestinian people to abandon their right to live their life as same as all peoples worldwide. Those desperate attempts actually failed to squash the willingness of the Palestinian people. Today, the Palestinian people are able and they are eager actually to live their life, and they have the abilities and they have the willingness to live their life despite the ongoing Israeli siege that tends to break the willingness of the Palestinian people to live their life. And I think that the Palestinian people actually appreciate and respect whoever comes to Gaza and to any Palestinian territory, because, as I have mentioned, that we couldn't forget those who choose to support the Palestinian people and to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people, despite the cruel Israeli attempts to demonize the Palestinian people and to demonize the Palestinian resistance and to push the people worldwide throughout the Israeli propaganda machine to just to forget about the Palestinian people and just to keep portraying the Palestinian people as groups of terrorists or groups of racists or extremists. So whoever comes to Gaza and to any kind of the Palestinian territories and clearly witnesses how the Palestinian people here dare to live and how they love to live their life and how they have the desires and the abilities to live as same as all people. I think this would be astonishing to a lot of people who came here to Gaza. And actually, we have met a lot of journalists and foreigners who came here into Gaza, and we touch we have touched how astonished they were when they come here to Gaza, because as I've mentioned, they have some kind of a picture in their background regarding how the Israeli propaganda tries to distort the picture of the Palestinian people and to prevent in order to prevent those whoever thinks to support the Palestinian people from coming here into Gaza and to show more support or just to try just to uncover or to understand the realities on the ground. So I think this holds a clear message to all free people worldwide who still believe in the rights of the Palestinian people to live in dignity and the freedom to come to Gaza and to visit Palestinian territories, and to see and observe by their naked eyes the reality of the Israeli terrorism and the reality of the Israeli occupation on the ground, and how the Palestinian people actually are suffering from the ongoing Israeli terrorism practiced day and night against the Palestinian people. And I think this would be helpful for the Palestinian people, and because there are many unseen parts of the Palestinian suffering that people outside cannot actually understand or observe or witness because of the hegemony of the Israeli Zionist propaganda on many mainstream media outlets worldwide. So I think this puts more responsibility of the international humanitarian organizations and the human rights organizations and bodies actually to portray and to reflect the realities on the ground as what they are.
Yes, and it took people like Dr. Jean Calder to obviously see that side of Palestine, where she's seen the suffering. And one needs to admire a woman for well over 68 years. She actually put her life into the Palestinian cause. Now, that is a lifetime on its own, and at the same time, just to look at her achievements. And she started off with an old garage in Gaza, and yes, she built one of the world's most admired programs for helping the disabled, the disadvantaged, the traumatized people. And this was all as a result of her her passion and a desire to make a difference. And this is exactly what she had achieved. Now, this is someone from far away from Australia who came to Palestine, who came to Gaza. And I'm sure that there are many people right across the entire world that have the Palestinian cause and appreciate what the Palestinians are actually going through and wanting to make a difference to the lives. Mutee.
Yes, actually, let me say that even though the governments of many Western countries actually choose to stand on the Israeli side and to turn a blind eye to the ongoing terrorism practiced by the Israeli occupation against the Palestinian people, we still believe as Palestinians that there are many and a lot of people worldwide who actually support the Palestinian people, because as I mentioned, that the Palestinian issue is not the issue of the Palestinian people only. It's the issue of all free people worldwide, because what Israel is practicing against the Palestinian people, those crimes which are perpetrated against the Palestinian people actually are flagrant violations of a basic human rights. It's not about the Palestinian people only. So whoever accepts that kind of ongoing violations and that kind of the continuous crimes committed by Israel actually accepts the violation of basic human rights and the violation and the abuse of basic human values. So this is how it looks like. So it's not about the Palestinian people. So we are very confident that the Palestinian people are still supported and assisted by millions of people who still believe in Palestinians' rights to self-determination and to live in a sovereign state freely and in dignity. And actually, what is the Palestinian people are fighting for is the least level and the least thing that any occupied people would fight for. And let's see what is going on here on the Ukrainian arena regarding the ongoing crisis between Russia and Ukraine. Actually, this and undisguised and unmasked the reality of the international community and the flagrant and abhorrent double standards they have. When it comes to the Palestinian people, they turn a blind eye and they avert their eyes from what is going on. But when it comes to the Ukrainian people, they shake their legs and shed more and more light on the invasion of the Russian military and the shelling and the killing of the Ukrainian people. So I think that the Palestinian people today are very confident and sure that they are not alone. They are supported by all the free people worldwide. And if Dr. Jean Galder actually passed away, there are a lot of people who are still up to support the Palestinian people and would never abandon their responsibility and their duty to support the Palestinian people and to reject that kind of Israeli terrorism practiced on a daily basis against the Palestinian people.
Yes, and also I think, just to divert a bit from Dr. Jean Galder, and we see what is playing out in Qatar in terms of the FIFA World Cup, but how the Palestinian cause is actually being taken up in Qatar as we speak right now. And we've seen many posts coming through via Twitter or social media. We've seen many videos going viral. We've seen the Moroccan fans obviously singing in honor of Palestine after they had won. We heard about taxi drivers not entertaining Israeli journalists. We've seen Israeli journalists, when they're trying to do certain interviews, the Palestinian cause is right at the forefront. We've seen the fans waving Palestinian flags. So all of that is very encouraging in terms of how the world is actually supporting Palestine, even at an event like the FIFA World Cup.
Yes, unequivocally that the scenes come from the World Cup in Qatar actually are astonishing, not only for the Palestinian people but for the whole world actually, especially the Israeli occupation, because it reflects how really the Arab and the Muslim communities actually look at the Israeli occupation, and actually it unmasked the reality of the Israeli occupation, and it portrayed how the real size and the real image of the Israeli occupation in the minds of the Arab communities and the Arab people, and not only the Arab people, but actually on in terms of the whole people and the whole nationalities. Actually, there is some kind of a common understanding and wide consensus when it comes to the Israeli occupation. We have witnessed how many people who were there rejected and refused to have any kind of interviews with the Israeli channels and the Israeli TVs. So actually, this reflects the reality of the Israeli occupation, and actually, I expect that the Israeli government and the Israeli political elites they are going to rethink and reconsider many things politically, especially after they imagined for some time that the normalization, abhorrent normalization agreements would push the people, the Arab people, and the people worldwide to forget the reality of the Israeli occupation, or to let down the Palestinian people, or just I think that the Israelis for somehow actually imagined and thought that they deceived the people, and they propagated the realities, and they actually overcame, and the Israeli narrative actually widespread over the Palestinian narrative and the Palestinian rights. But I think that what we have witnessed regarding those scenes coming from the World Cup is actually pleasing for the Palestinian people and for all free people worldwide. We still actually believe that, as I've mentioned, that the Palestinian people is still the vibrant issue for all free people worldwide, not only for Palestinian people or Arab communities, but for all free people, and the Palestinian people would remain the central issue until the Israeli occupation comes to an end.
Yes, and also what is encouraging is this is now the sentiment that is expressed on the ground by ordinary people, by like people like myself and yourselves, and despite what the world governments are doing,
I,
despite the
excuse
relationship.
me. I think that the laptop would turned off because, as you know, the electricity is off now here in Gaza. But I think let me before the connection is cut and went off, I shall pay attribute to all your efforts regarding this coverage, and it's very encouraging. It's very pleasing for the Palestinian people to feel how to feel your support, and to understand that they are still not alone in the face of the Israeli occupation. Thank you very much for your coverage. It's my pleasure to join your program, and hopefully we will meet over and over again. Thank you very much, Mr.
Inshallah,
Ayad.
Jazakallah khairan to you as well, and we
It's my
wish you all
pleasure.
the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, that was Mutee Abu Musabeh, who joined us, the head of foreign media at Hamas. And this was the morning, Palestine morning, on the passing away of Dr. Jean Galder, who meant so much for the Palestinians and the Palestinian cause, and also amongst the many other issues that we have spoken. But it is clearly encouraging to note the support and the level of support that Palestinians are enjoying right across the entire world. And we're going to have to leave it at that once again. It's been an absolute pleasure being in your company from myself and the team. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.